Sev Hipsch here in Topeka, Kansas at Quality Inn. They gave me an accessible room. I guess it's one of the last rooms they've had. And you don't see this very often anymore, adjoining rooms. It's got one, I believe, king bed. Looks like they had a low budget update. They painted the walls and whatnot. But it kind of just, you can kind of tell that it's aged. Just little subtle signs like the walls cracking. Not a huge deal. P-TAC is a Frigidaire. I believe these are Chinese made, whereas the GE and Amana P-TACs are USA made. It does have a microwave. If you've seen my last video, I do not use microwaves or refrigerators in the room. It actually appears to be pretty clean, just some rust because microwaves these days are cheap and made by one company. Guangdong Midea, I think, is the name of the company that makes 90% of the microwaves. Fridge looks, I mean, there's a little bit of dinginess. It's not the worst I've seen. They really should make purpose-built refrigerators for hotels so they're easier to clean. It encourages the housekeeping team to just clean it out with bleach or something. Looks like, I don't know if that's, it doesn't look like a stain, or it doesn't look like, debris or anything. It just looks like maybe somebody had spilled something hot. You got a cheap vinyl office chair. I'm almost 300 pounds. It would be something that I wouldn't buy because it's not sturdy. It does have a decent sized TV. And today's Monday, so I'll be watching Tucker Carlson and Laura Ingraham tonight. Chest of drawers. I always like to check inside because sometimes these don't get checked by housekeeping and there's some surprises in there. Whether it be food, clothes, or worse. Looks like they do a decent job. See, if you check behind the TVs, you can always kind of tell like how on top of the game they are with housekeeping. It looks like it's pretty clean back there. I'm gonna turn on another light. So we have two nightstands. We have a fabric chair. I don't get it with fabric furniture in hotels because I highly doubt they take a Bissell to it every stay. That would be impossible because they would take at least 24 hours to dry. There are some questionable spots on the chair. If it was leather or vinyl, it wouldn't be an issue. That is if they cleaned it. Every hotel, or almost every hotel I should say, they really should just make purpose-built lampshades that just can go like in an industrial dishwasher or something, or get hosed off in the tub, because there's questionable stains on the shade. Nothing in here, a little bit of dirt. I did notice something on here. It looks like super glue, I hope anyways, and not something else. I'll leave that to your imagination. Looks like somebody spilled something there. Phone could have been cleaned. If I ever am a founder of a hotel chain, I would intentionally design my rooms to where everything can get cleaned. I would eliminate some things like phones. I would eliminate the alarm clocks because people don't use it. It's just The less you have to clean, the cleaner the room will be. Oh, I know what we need to check. We need to check the AC filters in the PTAC. Those never get cleaned. And it's so easy to do. Well, this looks pretty clean. Maybe they cleaned it recently. I know some hotels, they forget about it. It's basically they pop these in through the wall and hope for the best. The Amana and GE units are pretty heavy duty, so even with abuse, they'll last a good 10 to 15 years, generally, not always, but generally. And then they die. And then instead of cleaning the unit, they just basically just run them into the ground. Here's your closet area. Iron and ironing board. I remember one hotel I stayed at in Lincoln. I was about to use the iron, and thank God I didn't, because I discovered that somebody had allegedly tried to make some kind of food with the iron, maybe grilled cheese or something. It had a really grease odor. It's kind of sad what people do in hotels. It's like, if you want a pizza, go to a pizza place, or buy a microwave pizza. Don't use irons. You got some nicer towels, it looks like, not the thin kind. Again, I'm in an accessible room, so there is it's wood, which is not a good material to have in a shower. More or less something that somebody sits on naked, which holds germs. It's kind of like a wood cutting board. Those are a horrible idea. Oh, it's a Simmons Trim Patrol. Simmons is still around. They're not really a well-known shower tub faucet brand. They generally go into high-rise apartments and bigger hotels. Some medium-sized hotels from the 80s, late 70s, early 80s will have these fixtures typically. Basically, it is louder. It's an older, definitely from the 80s. This place was probably built in the 80s. You got a toilet. I believe it's a Gerber, not the baby food company. They actually have a plumbing fixture company called Gerber. I always get bothered. Luckily, this is a plastic seat. I always get bothered with the wood seats. Those should actually be illegal. The toilet looks like it's pretty clean. There isn't any buildup I can see. Decent sink. And your amenity offerings. One thing that my last hotel had, the bath exhaust fan was really, really quiet. It was a premium model. This is builder grade. Let's turn it on. Oh, I guess it's inoperable, but there it is. It's a cheap $20 Brown that you would pick up at Home Depot and throw like in mass-built houses or apartments or something. Probably has CFM about 50. Generally, a bathroom this size looks like it'd be about 75, 80 square feet. You want about 100 CFM. Probably retrofitted. Definitely not original, because I believe that design of the grill was introduced in like the early 90s. In this place, I think it just gives off the mid to late 80s vibe. Here's the view. This is where I'll be eating my dinner in a few moments. There is a Texas Roadhouse, but I don't really, for some reason, I'm not in the mood for Texas Roadhouse. I have a nice 50% off coupon for Arby's I want to take advantage, so I'll be eating dinner here. There's a Home Depot, Tesla charging station over there. Dick's Sporting Goods, and then a few other stores. Um, Yikes, what do we have in here? We have dead bugs. Screen looks like it's been popped out. You got paint spatters, just minor maintenance issues. Easily addressable, very inexpensive to no cost to remedy. It always bothers me when, something doesn't cost any money or costs very little money, and a business does not take the time to invest in that just to provide a better experience. It doesn't cost money to scrape off this paint, doesn't cost money to suck out the bugs with a vacuum. It's just, if I was ever found at a hotel chain, I would definitely spend half my time as CEO, traveling the country and just randomly popping in and randomly walking into empty rooms just to see how the place is run. I think that's something that a lot of hotel chains, doesn't matter, anything from Motel 6 all the way to Hilton, could stand to do. I like the idea of just showing up unannounced. A lot of people don't like it, but I think if you show up unannounced, you do it enough times, they'll raise their expectations. Because otherwise, you can get away with a lot if you're not being checked up on. Forgot to show the coffee. I don't drink any coffee in the room. After hearing horror stories about what people do with the machine, society is sick these days, and you can't trust your fellow human being to do what's right. They'll piss in the coffee makers and whatnot. It's sad. You may think it's funny, but it's the truth. Is it likely that somebody did? No, but it's just something that has been an issue enough for an article to be written about, the crazy things that people do in hotel rooms. I remember when I stayed at a hotel, and I sat at the desk, and I noticed right by the chair area there were some mystery stains, and I was totally disgusted. Fortunately, I always pack spray bleach. If I eat dinner at a table or something, I'll wipe it down. I'll maybe wipe down the chair or something. If I use the remote, I'll wipe it down with bleach. I just spray a couple squirts on a washcloth and wipe random things in the room, because you don't know what was or wasn't clean. And what I'd like to do, if this takes off, I'd like to actually get a black light and see, darken the room and see what has been missed and what areas of concern are in the room. But it was, back to the table, it was kind of disgusting. I mean, it could have been a milkshake, or could have been lotion or something with you put in your hair, but I did not want to investigate. I did not have the tools to investigate, so I got hit with bleach. But just an FYI. As I say, society has crumbled so much that, you can't trust your fellow human being. Everybody's gone crazy. I think the government created a giant microwave magnetron, and people's brains are being fried. But anyways, without going on a tangent, this is the room 107 in Topeka, Kansas, Quality Inn. Pretty decent, slightly dated room. I find it interesting that the fire alarm is right over the bed. Typically, it's right next to the sprinkler, adjacent to the bathroom, but I don't know. Looks like there is a wall. Somebody did a really bad patch job. Home Depot is right there. You can get any supplies that you need to do maintenance. Somebody didn't know how to patch a wall, I guess. Just basic, minor, but addressable maintenance issues. Anyways, without further ado, I'll see you next time.